Hi everybody, my name is Vanessa Velasco. This is my Case Study 3 project. Here's to the semester rounding out and finishing up strong. With that, I'll get into my agenda. I'll start off with a client refresher, then go into training, go into measuring validity and integrity, as well as referencing task list items, and ending with a conclusion and a thank you. So this is my client. He is 5 years old with a diagnosis of autism. Some behaviors to target are his aggression and tantrums. In terms of verbal communication, he's presenting deficits in general language and communication, but still very vocal. Still lacking some key components to obtain complete fluency. In terms of things he loves washers, dryers, fans, and Donald Duck. He's been with our company for a few years now, but I've only been working with him for over 1 year. But I'm really proud of how far he's come. Moving on to training. The strategy or approach is BST, or Behavioral Skills Training. It's a well-established instructional methodology often used in ABA to teach new skills and behaviors. It's particularly effective for training individuals in practical and social skills, making it a valuable approach to various settings, including therapies, education, workplace training, specifically in this reference, the training component. BST typically involves 4 key components: instruction, modeling, rehearsal, and feedback. I find it's best in my own experience as well to kind of go through everything step by step to ensure that whoever's joining my guys' team feels confident and in executing everything with fluency as they go into their own solo sessions. So the components of BST are as follows. First, there's the instruction component. This is where the trainer or myself provides a clear, detailed explanation of the target skill or behavior. This includes describing why the skill is important, when and where it should be used, and specific steps involved to performing the skill or setting up the program for success. Next is the modeling component. This is where there's a demonstration of the target skill or behavior or from the trainer or myself. This visual demonstration helps the learner see exactly how the skill should be performed or how the program should be run. Next is the rehearsal component. This is where the learner practices the target skill or behavior, often in a role play setting or scenario which the skill will be used. This practice helps the learner refine their performance and gain confidence. An example would be where a technician practices steps of FCT, or functional communication training, and this protocol or scenario can be performed with the supervisor acting as a client to kind of get that rehearsal or practice in. And lastly, there's that feedback component. This provides constructive feedback on the learner's performance. This feedback highlights what has been done correctly, what needs to be improved, and is often includes specific suggestions for refinement. So an example is I can provide immediate feedback on a new team member's use of prompts or reinforcement during training sessions, including praise for correct implementation, corrective feedback for any errors. Next, I'll go into validity. Validity in ABA refers to the extent to which data and outcomes of an intervention accurately represent the behavior being measured and the goals of the intervention. And there are several various types of validity to consider. For now, I'm only going to talk about social validity and construct validity. So with social validity, this measures whether the goals, procedures, and outcomes of an intervention are socially acceptable and are meaningful to the client and their family. In some ways that we measure this type of validity are through surveys and questionnaires, interviews, rating skills. These are all good ways to kind of get a good gauge of whether our programs or interventions are socially valid. The next is a construct validity. This examines whether the intervention actually addresses the theoretical construct it's intended to measure or modify. How to measure that is through behavioral assessment tools or making sure our operational definitions are sound, that they're clear, they're accurate. This kind of aligns with whether our intervention caters to exactly what they're intended to cater towards. Next is integrity. This is also known as a treatment integrity or procedural fidelity. This refers to the extent to which intervention is implemented as intended by the design. So high treatment fidelity is crucial for ensuring that the intervention is delivered consistently and accurately, thereby increasing the likelihood of achieving the desired outcomes. So when it comes to thinking about measuring integrity, there's a few ways, some being treatment fidelity checklists, direct observations, permanent product reviews, but I want to go over some specific ones that we implement with my clients. So one, we take IOA data to assess consistency of data collected by different observers. This is to ensure that everyone is all on the same page, and a high IOA indicates that the behavior is being measured reliably and there's no inconsistency on recording the same behavior across different observers. There's a few ways to collect IOA data, such as percentage, point by point, total IOA. Other methods to measure integrity are through regular supervision and feedback. This is a crucial component of maintaining high treatment integrity and ensuring that interventions are delivered as they're designed. And lastly, there's the self-assessment and peer reviews. We want to set an encouraging environment where staff engage in self-assessment and peer reviews to kind of help foster a culture of continuous improvement and accountability. By systematically measuring and documenting both validity and integrity, we as practitioners can ensure that interventions are effective, reliable, capable of producing meaningful and lasting behavioral change. Next, I'll go into the task list items. In terms of this presentation, here are some relevant task list items that pertain to some of the material listed out. C8, evaluate the validity and reliability of measurement procedures, identify and prioritize socially significant behavior change goals, recommend intervention goals and strategies based on such factors that the client preferences, supporting environments, risk, constraints, and social validity, monitor client progress and treatment integrity, train personnel to competently perform assessments and intervention procedures, and use performance monitoring, feedback, and reinforcement systems. Here is a list of references I've used to put together this presentation. And thank you. Thanks for taking the time to listen. And if you have any follow-up questions and concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is below. Thank you.